Yes, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to your favourite fan channel, Real Reds Talk. This is your preview for the Manchester derby, and we've pulled all the stops out for this one. It's Ten Hag versus Pep, Rashford versus Haaland, Casemiro versus Rodri, Bruno versus De Bruyne, the biggest club in the world versus a club that's only been relevant for the past 10 years. I had to get a little dig in there straight off the bat. It's a massive game, lads. It's one you mark on the calendar. Thank you for coming on to both of you. Can you just start us off with your overall feeling going into this one? Dan, do you want to start us off?
Like in the middle of that, being confident and being bit scared.
Yeah, bit of both, bit mixed feelings there from Dan. What about yourself, Sam?
I'm feeling oddly confident, but that means that we're gonna get absolutely dicked on it.
So no, don't say that. Don't say that. We're trying to keep this positivity train
No,
going
I'm
here.
positive. I feel positive about it, but every time I feel positive about United or England, it goes to shit.
Yeah.
So
I think with the way it's kind of lining up, I think it's the best time to play City. We're at home and we're in really good form in a minute. So in comparison to how it was in the last game, which we are going to touch on, of course, later on, I'm feeling good, man. It's good vibes, good energy. Now, of course, for anyone who's watching, if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do. We're currently 48 subscribers off that massive landmark, 1,000 subs. So if anyone can contribute to that, we'd be really, really grateful. And yeah, let's do this together. So thank you for the continued support. Also, to let you know, we will have a live watch along for this huge game tomorrow. So we'll be live an hour before kickoff for team news. Make sure you come and join us from 11:30 and turn on that notification bell. We always kick the previews off with a warm-up. Lads, who has made the most appearances in a Manchester derby?
Ryan Giggs.
Correct.
Yeah.
You know how many?
36.
How many?
36.
Correct. Absolutely spot on. 1 point to Dan.
Do I not get a point?
Well, yeah, well, I was about to say. 1 point to Sam, 1 point to Dan. Back in 2011.
That was random guess.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, take
Shot
it.
in the
Take the
dark.
point, mate. Yeah.
Mr. Dan is back.
Yeah. Back in 2011, Wayne Rooney obviously scored that famous overhead kick when we beat City 2-1. But who scored the other goal in that game?
Oh God.
Any shots in the dark? Mystic Dan, you're welcome to come back again, mate, if you want.
I'm just recalling who all played.
I was gonna say who was in the team. That's what I'm trying to remember.
Get involved in the comment section if you guys can remember, whether you're watching live or later on.
My mind's gone blank. I can't even think.
Do you want me to tell you the team for that day?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. I'll have to get it up very quickly. I think obviously Wayne Rooney started because he scored the bloody headed kick, didn't he? I'll get it up now. Manchester United versus Man City.
What year is this?
2011.
2011.
Yeah, 2011. 2-1. I think was it Old Trafford?
Yeah,
Old Trafford.
It was the other end though. It wasn't Stretford end, was it? It was the other end. He did
Yeah. Right. Right. So team, where's it gone? Oh yeah. Right. So we had Van der Sar, Evra, Smalling, Vidic, John O'Shea, Anderson, Giggs, Nane, Scholes, Fletcher, Rooney. Nane, correct.
Yeah.
Luis Nane scored was it the winner in that game? No, Rooney scored the winner, sorry, wasn't it? Yeah. Because Nane got the first goal, and then Wayne Rooney, obviously, with that absolute monster of an overhead kick, which actually came off his shin, in fairness.
Yeah,
but
shinned it.
Yeah, you still take it. And finally, name one player you would bring in from the past for this game specifically. So who do you think could have the biggest impact on this game? Alongside Casemiro?
Yeah,
Paul
Scholes. I'd have him all day of the week, every single day.
I would bring back Van Persie because we need
Van
a second.
Persie, killer. Do you know, it's similar to my choice that I went for Van Nistelrooy in this game. I think a killer in that box because obviously
we can have Roy Keane in to finish the job he started on Haaland's dad.
double. Just go for Haaland, take him out.
The
Can you
son,
imagine Roy
son
Keane
and the
and
dad.
Lisandro?
Yeah. Red cards all day.
Yeah. Roy Keane and Lisandro in the same team. Jesus Christ. I would not like to face that team. As soon as you get into that final third, it's just...
Oh, you get to the midfield, you get past Roy Keane, you're like, I'm home free, and then Lisandro, shit.
Yeah. Prison FC, Prison FC. Yeah, look, some great shouts there from you lot. Right, since the last time we played City at their ground, both teams have embarked on similar journeys. City winning 6 out of their possible 9 in the league, and United have won 7 out of a possible 10 in the league as well. However, we're still the only team in England, by the way, in 4 competitions. Because in case you missed it, Manchester City got knocked out of the Carabao Cup last night against Southampton. So they're not in 4 competitions anymore. We're now the favourites for the Carabao Cup, and everything's amazing. I know that game wasn't a league game, Dan, and it's slightly different. But what did you take away from that cup game that we can use to our advantages? Like, what do you think are City's weaknesses, if any?
At this moment, I think they have very less weaknesses, but whatever the weaknesses or the mistakes, mainly the mistakes they make, we should take advantages of those mistakes, because that's what Southampton did. City made 2 mistakes and they took the advantage of those 2 mistakes, and also their defense looked a bit shaky. But at the same time, I would rather say to, if I'm a manager, I would rather say to United players that don't get overhyped with their loss, because now they are like a movement animal, and City actually sacrificed the cup for this game, because they rested almost 5 of their starting lineup players on bench, and they started their second team. That's where they lost this cup game, and they will not afford to lose 2 continuous games in a row. So I would rather say be cautious and don't play into their hands, but just wait for the moment, and wait for their mistakes, and just take advantages of those mistakes.
Yeah, 100%. And that point you make as well, it's 100% true, because you remember after the Chelsea game in the league, where Chelsea were actually the better team in the first half, and then they played them in the Cup, City, and they absolutely mauled them. It was about 3-0, I think it was 4-0. They were playing like Barcelona 09. They looked incredible. So sometimes you write that wounded animal effect. It can just use us as a springboard then to come back and get back into form, because these teams that play at such a high level, City are one of the best teams in the world. It is what it is. I hate it, but they are. And they keep maintain such a high level. They have every now and then they'll have a dip, but then it'll go back up to the top and they'll continue. So it's important to capitalize on that dip whilst they're in it at the minute, I think. But yeah, Sam, in the last game, one of the main talking points was the left side, obviously Man City's right side. Christian Eriksen not tracking players back. We had Sancho on that side again, who we know has his fitness issues. Without going into the team selection too much, how do we negate that threat but carry our own as well?
You just have to shut down certain players. I think HAALAND is not the guy to worry about. It's the supply getting to HAALAND. Because HAALAND's not involved in the game. He don't do build-up play. He doesn't like to pass a lot. He likes to just ball pinged in, get on it, and he'll normally put it in the back of the net. Yeah, that's all he needs. Yeah. So if you cut off the supply, you don't have to worry so much about the threat from HAALAND, because like 90% of the game, he's not involved in it. Like he's a passenger. But the problem is, he's so lethal when he gets the ball. He's probably 9 times out of 10 he's going to score, and that's the issue that you have. So if you cut off the supply line, so you've got to look at people like De Bruyne. Mahrez is in very, very good form at the minute. De Bruyne is probably one of the best midfielders on the planet. Like I hate saying it, but he is.
If not the best,
yeah.
To be honest.
And yeah, Jack Grealish is doing well as well. I think he's starting to find some sort of form.
Yeah, him and Mahrez are in good form.
Yeah, they're replacing who normally plays on the
Foden.
Yeah, Foden. He's keeping Foden out of the team, isn't he, at the minute? Which is weird, because Foden, I think, is one of the best players in the league, like English players especially. So
100%.
I think you need to cut the supply off. If you could stop De Bruyne from ticking and like dictating the ball and playing, you stop that threat, because that's what he wants to do. He wants to get hold of the ball and he wants to ping it out to Mahrez or Jack Grealish, and then they'll supply it into HAALAND. So if you can stop De Bruyne, you can stop a lot of stuff happening in and around our box, and I think that's the sort of the key thing. But it's not that simple.
Just on that, Sam, before you get into your next point, can we just bring Park Ji-sung or Herrera back in for that?
Just
to
mark him, follow him to the toilet like he did with Eden Hazard. Just don't let him out of your sight.
That's what we need.
A couple of comments.
Do you think any of the players we have in United can do that job still?
Fred.
Yeah.
Fred can do that job, I think. Yeah, he's the only one, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll read a couple of comments out. There's a couple of comments in the chat. Severe saying Sam's positive we're gonna get dicks. No, I'm not positive we're gonna get dicks. I'm positive about it.
No, he's saying
when
because
I'm
you're positive,
yeah,
we're gonna get dicked.
Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah. Aaron is saying it's either gonna be a good win or we're gonna get humbled. No in between. Oh god. And Severe says form goes out the window in a derby. It's never a good time to play City. We just have to make sure we're 100% of the day, regardless of what the form is. So yeah, a lot of good points in the chat.
Yeah, and sticking with the theme of form, thank you for that, Jive. You give me a perfect segue. Coming into this, we haven't lost since we've actually come back from the World Cup in all competitions, but in the league, we've only played Forest, Wolves, and Bournemouth, 3 teams that are currently in the bottom 5, fighting relegation. Dan, is it important not to get carried away with this because it is a long season? We've got big games ahead. I'm hearing talk of title charge and all this kind of shit. It's just like, for me personally, I'm just trying to focus, take it game by game, as the managers and the players do. But what about your perspective in this?
Yeah, we can be deceived by the way we are playing these days, because the wins can make pull us to that thought that can we win this season at this moment, because the way we are playing so good, we can think on that one. But at the same time, we can also think that it's not going to end with a couple of games. We have a whole season on the way, and it's good that we have a very good backup, good history behind us for the last 8-9 games. But at the same time, I've never kept a high expectations when we came into this season. In the starting of the season, if you ask me, I would have told you, like, let's just focus on getting top 4 rather than just going straight into for the title challenge. So that's where I've always believed that the only way for the first season for a manager is to just focus on those games which are winnable, and the games against the top 4 teams, you can just try to scrap some points out of it. And then definitely, if you have these 2 main things, one, winning the winnable games, and second, getting few points out of the top four teams, then you will definitely be in the top 4 position at the end of the season. So even dropping points against City will not affect this run, because we know that we are in very good form and in a very good run. So I would rather say, let's not keep the expectations very high at the start. But anything, any positive result out of it is a great bonus for us, and it will even boost the confidence of every player and the manager and the fans.
Yeah, and it goes back to the show I did yesterday about the fixture congestion. There's still a lot of games. We're playing like ridiculous amount of games in the next couple of months. We're bound to probably pick up a couple of injuries. I'm going to touch on the injuries in a second as well, but it's a long season. We can't be getting ahead of ourselves at the minute. I've seen us do it so many times before. I know it's different under Eric Ten Hag at the minute, but it's a process. It's going to take time. We'll get there eventually. I think that's an important message to put out there. I'm not going to deep dive into the history of these fixtures, because we know what we're going to get. It's very intense, lots of talent on display, lots of emotion involved, and usually always a good game due to that. Unfortunately, there is quite a few injuries involved, including players not available for selection as well. So Jadon Sancho still isn't back. He's still working individually, and not sure on a timescale on that. Weghorst can't play. I don't think he's signed in time.
So
it's either that or he hasn't.
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah. I thought he would be available for that. I was expecting a 90th minute header from a corner.
I was hoping for it.
Yeah, unfortunately. So Weghorst isn't available. Martial is a doubt, apparently, as well as it stands. Although he did train this morning, so we'll see what happens with him, how he's reacted to that. Diogo Dalot's out for the game, and Manchester City have Stones and Diaz on the treatment table as well. So, Sam, with all things considered, how big of an effect could this be with the players that we've got out, and who do you think will miss the most?
I think Martial being a doubt, I think that means Rashford's probably going to start down the middle, isn't it? But then that leaves problems on your wings, because Anthony, he's scoring goals, but he seems to be a bit of a one-trick pony on that right-hand side. But like you said, Jadon Sancho's not there. I wouldn't put Elanga in there, because I just don't think he offers anything. And if Rashford's going down the middle, who do you play on the left? Do you trust Garnacho?
Could be a boy. That's what I mean.
Do you trust him?
I love Garnacho, Sam, but it's his work rate off the ball.
So, and then I've got a strange fear, and I absolutely hate it, that they're going to put Bruno on that left-hand side. And I really don't like it. I don't like him being on that left-hand side. But Ten Hag's done it before, and he's probably going to do it again if Martial doesn't start. So it's tricky. Our front line's looking very, very shaky at the minute. Like, it's being held up by a Marcus Rashford string at this point. Like, it's just, there's not much holding it together. Dalot, that's a miss. He's only just come back in. He obviously went off with that hamstring, and obviously it's worse than we thought it was hopefully going to be. But Wan-Bissaka's made a good account of himself last couple of games. He's not been
surprisingly
bad.
That shows how much of a good coach Ten Hag is, by the way.
And he's also got a very good history against City. Like, he shut down Sterling repeatedly on that right hand side, didn't he? So yeah, I think defense wise and midfield wise we should be all right. I just don't like the idea of Bruno on that left. So our front line, and it just shows you why we've signed that Weghorst, because our front line is severely lacking in any sort of depth. And the only depth we have are young lads, or lads who are not up to the standard, especially against a Man City. So yeah, the front line is very, very worrying for me, I think.
That's the main issue, and it's the depth, because City have Bernardo Silva, Mahrez on one side. They have Haaland and Julian Alvarez in the middle, and then they have Foden and Grealish on the left-hand side. It's just like you can literally rotate any one of them players and they would be fine. Yeah. We rotate one players. It's the young players. It's Palestra. It's Garnacho, who are super talents, but you can't play them in these kind of games. You know what I mean? Dan, more than welcome to add on to that point that we was discussing about Bruno being on the left, lack of depth in attack, of course. But I want to go from attack to midfield as well. Casemiro is the big difference in this game compared to the last one. Obviously, McTominay started in the one at the Etihad in the away fixture. Is Casemiro the best in the world for you right now in his position? And could he be the difference tomorrow, do you think? That's how good he is.
Yeah, at this moment, if you ask me, he is the best CDM at this moment. The way he's playing, the difference he's making in the games, and attack-wise, defense-wise, even he's scoring goals, and the passes in the last games is like out of this world. So he has been a difference for United in the last 8-9 games. Then why not become a difference for another game against City? And that's where we lost in the first leg. The midfield, because of the midfield, we lost the first game. So now we have a very better midfield now with Casemiro in, because when Casemiro is there in the team, in himself, it's a massive boost for that whole team. The confidence and that physicality and that calmness he brings in the midfield is to be cherished. And he has always been a big game player, and he's not afraid of putting tackles and pushing players here and there. And so that was missing for us in the last 3-4 years, and we have been craving for a CDM for a long time. And we have also seen Ten Hag also saying that the very first thing he wanted was a CDM when he came into this club. So definitely, this every game, most of the games are decided on the midfield, and now we have, with the Casemiro coming in, we have a very strong midfield. And he can definitely. And on that note, in the last game when McTominay was there, I don't think Pep would have been very worried about. But now coming into this game, Pep would definitely have been putting his thoughts into that position, how to counter Casemiro, how to block Casemiro. So that in itself is a massive thing.
A lot of people were calling for Casemiro to start that City game, weren't they? Because he wasn't quite in the United team at that point. A lot of people were like, this is the game you play him, and he didn't play. And obviously we got absolute destroyed. So this might be the redemption arc that in Casemiro has. He didn't get to play the last one, but he gets to play in this one, and he could be the difference maker in possibly winning.
Can we copyright that as our thing, by the way, on our channel, Casemiro?
When we make some merch, we definitely have to do a Casemiro shirt.
Yeah, I'm just going to put that out there before people start using it and stuff. But yeah, he's been phenomenal, and he reminds me. It's like, the mad thing is, he does like Kante's job and Paul's goals at the same time. So his passing ability is ridiculous. But then his reading of the game, interceptions, tackle, like he's just good everywhere. It's mad. Even on his weak foot, when it first time passing, 70-yard diagonals, just hitting him on the just. Perfect.
The two passes to Rashford the other week were. I keep watching him. I keep going onto YouTube and rewatch it. It's fucking amazing. With the outside of his foot, just fucking.
Yeah.
So good.
It's mad because, as you will obviously know, Sam, we've been deprived so long of a world-class midfielder.
Yeah.
It's insane the level of difference, the drop-off from Casemiro to McTominay or Fred when they play that role. It's just, honestly, they're light years away. They're so far away, and we're lucky to have him. We really are. A question for both of you. This might be an obvious one. Which players on Man City's team worry you the most, and how do we go about stopping them, whoever it is you go for? I know you got your obvious ones, but like you said, Mahrez is in very good form as well. Are you worried about him maybe up against Luke Shaw?
De Bruyne. De Bruyne is the problem. Everything goes through De Bruyne. He is the maestro. He's the conductor. He's the thing that makes everything tick. If he's playing and he's on the ball, you're in trouble. Because not only can he pass with a great range of passing, not only can he take free kicks, corners, all that sort of stuff, he also has got a shot on him. He can also score goals. So it's just literally like he's the entire package. And the guy is ridiculous, and you have to stop him. I don't know how. I literally don't know how. Other than Lissandro just absolutely sticking to him like a fly on shit, just not leave him alone. That's the only way I can see it, because that guy is going to cause problems, and you have to shut him down somehow.
The thing is on that as well, once you occupy one player, though, if you try putting 2 to 1, you then got to worry about Mahrez, Bernardo Silva, Foden.
Yeah, but like Mahrez and Grealish, they're good once they've got the ball and they're running with the ball and they're trying to take, obviously, Grealish.
Cut off that.
Grealish draw fouls. Mahrez likes to run, and then he does a similar thing to Anthony, but he's also got a right foot, unlike Anthony. So if you cut off the supply to them, it's not so much as a worry. Bernardo Silva is a bit of a baller. He's got some good creativity. He can run with the ball, etc. So he's a slight worry. But yeah, I think De Bruyne is number one threat. You have to shut him down at all costs.
Yeah. To put another name in that mix is, I know that everybody knows that De Bruyne and HAALAND are the two most dangerous players at the moment. So my point of view is that when these two players are there on the pitch, your maybe like 3 to 4 players are on them. Yeah. So now that makes your other areas of the field free, and that's where I am more fearful about Bernardo Silva, because he will get so much of space to do his things, and he has been a very good player for Portugal, as well as whenever he has the space, he can do a lot of things, and he can be a De Bruyne when he has a lot of space. So I'm really worried about Bernardo Silva as well.
He don't get respect, does he, Bernardo Silva? Like every year they go, "Oh, City are going to sell him. He's leaving, etc." And there's all these rumors around him, and he always ends up staying in and just absolutely blitzing.
He's phenomenal, man.
And it's just like I don't understand. He doesn't get the respect he deserves. I don't think. I think he's
it's because of the level of quality at Man City. They've got world class players in every position. If he went to one team, he'd stand out so much. Like, let's say, I don't know, whoever it was he went to. Like, if he went to even Arsenal's team now, who are flying at the minute, he would stand out there because he's top level. He's top quality. But the one I went for, who I think is a one to watch tomorrow, if he starts, is Gundogan. Because he can be that free roaming 8 as well. He's the one who presses up. When they have that 5 kind of pinning you back, he's the one who's free floating and can pick up different areas. And he's scored quite a few times against us before as well. Yeah. He's such an underrated player, by the way, Gundogan. He's so fucking good. Last season, there was a period where he scored about, I think it was like 12 goals or something. He went mad. Like, he just went on a mad goal scoring streak. And he's one of the most underrated signings, I think, in the Premier League. Like, he's a really, really good player. And one of few who've worked out coming from the German league as well. So, definitely one to keep an eye out on. Sorry, I thought you were going to come in then, Sam. I've got a list of some stats for you lot, so just to keep the positivity, the energy flowing. So Manchester United have kept 9 clean sheets in the last 11 games at Old Trafford, and we've only lost once at home in the league. Marcus Rashford has scored 15 goals in all competitions for United this season, which is 3 times as many as he managed in the entirety of last season. The England international has scored in every one of his 6 appearances since the World Cup break, and he's currently got the most goals out of anyone in the top 5 leagues since we've come back. So
and he's scored in the World Cup as well.
Yeah, 3 goals in the World Cup and hardly got any minutes, so he's flying at the minute. And that is someone who I just wanna park that for a second and discuss about Marcus Rashford, because we discussed all the bright talents, De Bruyne's, Haaland's, Casemiro's, and a couple of others, but I want to talk about this Mancunian hero. What do we think has improved his game to get him back to the form? Do you think? Because last season he was a total write-off, wasn't he?
Yeah, just the worst player we had, wasn't he? Like, we all voted him. Like, he was mentally, he didn't seem like he wanted to play. He just looked like he was like not arsed about being there. He was supposedly 100% fit because the previous season he had a shoulder, his ankle, his back was broken, and he still played, and he was performing. But he was just supposedly 100% fit. All that sort of stuff. Had a preseason, and it wasn't there. And I know it was in a team full of everybody else didn't perform either, really, did they? Like last year, like Ronaldo was the only one who sort of stood out among everybody else. Like everybody else was shocking. So yeah, I think it comes down to, I don't think Marcus Rashford's been coached since he's come into the team.
Yeah.
He came in under Louis van Gaal and he got an opportunity through emergency status because Martial went out in that Europa League game. Is it Midtjylland?
Yeah.
And as a young player, you sort of it's mostly adrenaline you run off, don't you? You just sort of like buzz in and get in the team, you're running about, and that's how you play for like the first sort of few games. And then under Jose, it was like he was very tactical, he was very like demanding, but I don't think he does a lot of working one-on-one coaching.
He's a bit cold in it at times as a coach.
Then Ollie, we've heard a lot of stories where there wasn't much coaching going on, and the players.
Go on, Rashid. Go on, Rashid.
It's like a lot of players were running a riot and turning up whenever they felt like it, and then complaining about having to go home in the dark, like just fucking absolute shite. So, and now you got Ten Hag, who we've known is one of the best man-to-man coaches in the world, one of the best tacticians. Is well known for taking players who have previously underperformed or previously not had a chance at other clubs. Sebastian Haller, we've talked about it 1,000 times. Dusan Tadic, we've talked about it 1,000 times. He brings players and he brings them up to a level and absolutely smashes it. He's built 2 Ajax teams and then they've been picked for parts every single time. Donny van der Beek, Hakim Ziyech, all of that, they've all gone to bigger clubs and better things. Well, Donny, but you know what I mean. So he's finally had coaching from a world-class coach, and it's shown on the pitch. And then when you get world-class coach, you start scoring goals, your confidence comes back, and you start firing and going on instinct, and it just builds. It all feeds into one, and that's what you've got now. You've got a well-coached, confident, goal-scoring Marcus Rashford, and when that happens, he's dangerous. He's a very dangerous man.
Well, Dan, we saw what Casemiro said about him. He said he could be one of the top 5 players in the world from what he's seen. That is massive praise from someone like him. What do you see in his game that he's changed from last season? You think about all the frustrations. Every time we'd be watching him, be like, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. What's he changed in his game to get better, do you think?
I think his decision making has been improved in this year, especially under Ten Hag. And we have seen that in the last couple of years when also he was performing at a very high level. At one moment, we were also comparing him with Mbappe. But at the same time, we were always saying that whenever he runs with the ball and at the end of the penalty box, he would just shoot. And even though if he has a very clear chance to give a pass and that pass will lead to a goal, at the time also his decision making has been very poor. It's like he was never told to pass the ball. So that's where I felt that he was not coached well. His potential was very high, but his potential was not nourished. But now I think we have a person in Ten Hag who know well how to nourish a player, and Rashford, always we know that he has very high potential, and the areas where Rashford was lacking, those areas are now being dealt with by Ten Hag, and especially as I mentioned about the decision making, and also his mindset, and he was suffering mentally. He was not in the right posture mental wise. So that area also Ten Hag has done a very great job. And just imagine if before Ten Hag Rashford might have been going through all these things. Then just imagine the only thing I can see United doing is just let him go for a vacation. So that's all they might have done with Rashford. But now we have seen that he was assigned a psychologist, if I'm not wrong, to help him out of that situation. And that same person is now dealing with Sancho, and that's where I'm confident that Sancho, when he comes back, he'll be coming back stronger.
Yeah, it's a very good point you make about that, because obviously football is a mental game. A lot of people going about the physical aspects of it, but it's just as much as mental one. When you're at that high level competition week in, week out, especially for a club of Manchester United, he's from Manchester. The pressure is enormous, more than people know. And you could see that last season when he was having a bad game, it just looked like the weight of the world was on the guy's shoulders. Like, he just really looked like he was suffering, and he needed to be taken out of that. Everything Ten Hag has done has been absolutely spot on with him. And he's basically gone to him, he's gone, you're the guy here, you're the main guy here, you're Mr. Manchester, you're the one with the ability, and you're the one who's going to carry this team. And he's just took it on like as a mantle, and he's just
Also,
no worries lost.
Why, like, as a club of United stature, why did we not have these psychologists and sports people in the first place?
Crazy, isn't it?
Why? I bet Liverpool have got him. I bet City have got him. I bet Tottenham have got him. I bet every other team in the top 10 has got him. I wouldn't surprise me if people like Brentford and I think Wolves had him. It's stunning to me that we don't have these processes and things in place as Manchester United. It's insane. And it's taken Ten Hag to come to this club to go, why the fuck is this not? Why have we not got this? And to get him in place, like, mental.
You mentioned Brentford there. Again, another perfect segue. Since United's defeat to Brentford, only Arsenal have picked up more points, 38, than Manchester United have in that time, when we picked up 35. Ten Hag's men have won all 11 of their Premier League matches this season when they've taken the lead. They are the only Premier League club that have achieved this. Also, as well, we've won as many games, 20 this season across all competitions, as we managed in the entirety of last season. So that shows you the difference, mental. And then the last one I've got for you is a quick little stat. Erik Ten Hag is the fastest United manager to reach 20 wins, having been in charge for 27 matches. He currently has a win percentage of 74.1%, which is higher than Sir Alex Ferguson currently.
And there'll still be some pundits who will be like, yeah, I'm not sure about him. He's like, I don't know. He's like,
especially Talk Sport pundits. Let's be
shite.
honest.
Talk shite.
His continuing his win percentage. I think in Ajax also he had percentage somewhere around 72, 73.
Yeah. He's been...
You notice as well, like, Graham Potter is going through the absolute mill in a minute at Chelsea. Not one person, not one pundit's going, he needs to lose his job, he needs to be fired, like, he needs to be like... Not one of them. I'm sure fans are, but if Ten Hag was going through this right now, they'd be all over. They'd be all going, he needs to be fired, he's out of his depth, blah, blah, blah. It'd be fucking... And I don't want Graham Potter to be fired, by the way. I think he's a very good coach, and I think he deserves time. But if that's a Man United, if he's Manchester United, different story, isn't it?
How are you feeling? You sign Yao Felix for that much money. It's cost so much, 380k a week, like 11 million package, and you get sent off. And just like, oh, like as if it weren't already bad as a Chelsea fan. You're 10th in the league. You've got about 1 million injuries. You're signing that comes in to fill in for them, gets a red card. You're like, if you're Graham Potter, you're just like, fuck's sake, man. What am I supposed to do?
It's like the bailiff coming to your house, taking all your shit, and then as he's leaving, he kicks you in the balls. And just fucks off. And you're just like, what the fuck? Like, just...
It's the last crazy thing Chelsea didn't want it to lose another player, and they never expected this coming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel sorry for him because I'm a United fan, but you can definitely sympathise with him because
Graham Potter. I feel sorry for Graham Potter. Chelsea fans, fuck him. I don't care. But Graham Potter, I feel for the guy.
They are in the mud at the minute, but I do think they'll bounce back under Potter if they stick with him. But you know what this Todd Bowley's like.
I think he loses his job before the end of the season.
Probably. Now, time for some quick fire questions, lads. Will both teams score tomorrow afternoon?
Yeah.
Will Fred start?
I don't think so.
I think yes. I think yes.
Okay. Who will finish higher, City or United in the league?
Ooh, good question.
Still think City will finish higher.
Yeah, I think City finish higher than us. Just.
Traitors. Will Rashford score again?
Of course.
Hot streak. Run a hot streak.
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely.
You sure?
Yeah.
You absolutely sure about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Equally, will Erling Haaland score?
Probably. Yeah.
No.
27 goals in all comps
Yeah,
so far.
he's
We're halfway through the season, by the way.
He's definitely scoring. He's definitely scoring.
Yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? It's just inevitable. A bit like Thanos.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just
I would say no because I made him captain in FPL.
he's not letting that go, Dan.
Well,
He's so
you said you was
annoyed.
you said you was Mystic Dan at the start of the show, so hopefully you're right on that one. And then the last one, I thought this was a bit of an interesting question. What's more likely to happen? Bruno to start on the wing or Rashford to start as a 9?
I think they're both gonna happen.
Both of them.
Yeah.
I think both of it
Uh,
happens.
I think Rashford will start as number 9, but Bruno Fernandes will start.
What are you expecting more to happen tomorrow? Like, let's say, for example, the team lineup will come out. Would you be more surprised that Bruno's on the wing or more surprised that Rashford's starting as a striker?
Bruno on the wing, I'll be surprised because Rashford, we know that we don't have other players. So Rashford,
Yeah.
I think definitely Rashford will be starting as number 9.
I agree.
Maybe switching positions, but he will start as number 9. But Bruno Fernandes, I think with all the games he has played on the wings, I'm not having a little bit of confidence.
No,
for
he's
him to play on
wasted.
that.
We all said
Yeah.
that, didn't we? I think we're all in agreement with that. Bruno Fernandes is
It's like-
wasted on the
It's
wings.
like Donny in the 10. Like, it just does my head
Yeah.
in. Like,
I
stop doing it.
seen someone saying that, oh well, when he's out there on the right hand side, he's got a good delivery he can put into the box. Who to? Who's heading
There's
it
no
in the
one
box?
there. There's nobody there.
Yeah, like Martial can't head. I think he scored like 3 headers in his whole career. We haven't exactly got players in the team that have that profile who are really good in the air. Ronaldo when he was here, yeah, fair enough. But anyone else, it's like obviously we got Big Vout coming in now, Mr.
Yeah.
Workhorse, but he can't start tomorrow, so it is what it is. Yeah, that's quick fires done. Quick combined 11. I thought this would be interesting to see who you lot put in. I know we're a United fan channel. Let's try to take the red tints off slightly, and that's definitely going to Sam as well. Goalkeeper. Who do we throw in there?
Edison has to be.
Okay.
I love David. I do. I really do. But
Yeah.
his distribution, sorry. Edison's got assists in the City team. So
I'm sure Shreyas will be fine in this corner.
The very first thing came to my mind was De Gea's nutmeg.
Say that again, sorry, Dan. I didn't pick that.
The very first thing that came into my mind when you asked about that was when De Gea, when the ball rolled under his legs.
Oh God,
Jesus.
that mistake. No, I got
Still
pelters for that, by the way. I got pelters for that, putting it on TikTok.
I
and
still
people was
don't
giving me
know.
shit about it.
I still don't know what he was doing. I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. I still don't know.
No idea. Right, so Edison in net.
Yeah.
What about right back? Who are we putting at right back? Kyle Walker. You can have Cancelo there. You can have Dallo or Wan-Bissaka.
I think Walker.
Walker. I'm a big fan of Kyle Walker.
I love Dallo to death. I think he's really, really good. But Kyle Walker's just fantastic.
He's been one of the best for a while, hasn't he? To be fair.
For England, for City, just
Yeah. Well, this is where the debate gets interesting. Centre back pairings. Who do we have at the back, fellas?
Varane, Lissandro.
Both. I would pick both.
Yeah.
Lissandro and Varane.
Yeah.
Not John Stones.
No,
Put John Stones in there.
Fuck off. Come on.
Mate, John Stones has had a worldie
I don't give a
this
shit.
season.
We've got Varane and Lissandro, mate. I'm not backing down on it. So. And
Okay,
Dan's
well,
with
I'm outvoted,
Dan's with
but-
me, so they're in the team.
That's fine. I'll be outvoted, but I think John Stones should be in there, but it is what it is. So we'll go with Lissandro and Varane.
If you pick John Stones, then who would you take out? Varane or Martin?
Oh, don't ask me that. I'm the one here asking the difficult questions. You don't need to ask me the difficult questions. Oh, you bastard. I don't know. I really don't know.
That's
But
what
I
picked.
know.
We'll pick
Yeah.
Black.
Oh, no.
Back five.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. But John Stones has been fantastic for City. He's obviously out for this game, but he has been really, really good. I think it's difficult. So I don't know. I can't answer your question, unfortunately. Left back. Who would we put at left back? Cancelo?
He's not
Has to
been.
be
He's
Cancelo.
not been great though
No.
for Portugal.
He
has
hasn't, to be fair. No, you're right.
He's not been great.
correct.
Whereas Luke Shaw's
What's-
been decent. Like Luke Shaw's been good.
On
Over
current form,
Luke Shaw over Cancelo?
Are we
on
doing?
the current form.
Are we doing current form? Or are we doing like in general?
Yeah, let's do current form.
Current form, it has to
Right
be
now.
Shaw. In general, like over their entire careers, it's Cancelo. But current form.
Right. Okay. Luke Shaw is in. Midfield. How do we do this?
De Bruyne, Casemiro, Gundogan.
You both think Casemiro's better than Rodri?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many Champions League has Rodri got?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
Exactly.
I don't think he's got any. Yeah. You can't just say that. You can't go around everywhere
can.
going, how many?
Yeah, I can.
He's still,
Yeah, I can.
He's still a class player, Rodri.
I don't care.
Come on.
I don't care.
Right. Okay. Right. So Casemiro, De Bruyne,
Gundogan.
Who else?
I'd go with Gundogan because we haven't got, and I think he's better than Eriksen.
And Bruno.
No, because you've got De Bruyne in the 10, haven't you?
No, De Bruyne would be the 8. You'd have Casemiro as the 6. De Bruyne was the 8. The box.
Oh, is that how we're doing it? I would have put
De
Bruyne. Yeah. Let's go with Casemiro, De Bruyne, and Bruno then.
So no Foden, Bernardo Silva.
Foden could play on the left or the right, can't he?
Okay. Bruno. I think there's some City fans raging at this.
Fuck him.
The attack. How would you line up your attack? Let's go with right. We'll go with right wing first.
Right wing. Mahrez. Yeah.
Over Bernardo.
Ooh.
I'd have Bernardo.
I think now Bernardo plays on the midfield on the Eriksen role.
He does what Foden does. So Foden plays on the wing sometimes, and he can play as a 10. And Bernardo plays on the wing sometimes, and he plays as a 10 because he does play on the right quite a lot for City. But if you prefer Mahrez, you prefer Mahrez.
Mahrez in form right now. Mahrez is smashing it.
Okay. We'll go with Mahrez. I mean, Haaland's up top in there. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Because we haven't got a striker.
But then, lads, it's Phil Foden or Marcus Rashford.
Rashford's untouchable. He's untouchable right now.
In form. Yeah, to be honest.
Foden,
that was easier than I thought it'd be, to be fair.
Foden is a fantastic player, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And I would love him at United. And if rumours are believed to be true, his entire family are United fans. So he should be a United fan, but he's claiming he's always been a City fan. But I don't believe a fucking word of it. Because if your dad is a United fan, you're a fucking United fan. That's how it works. Like, you can't go against your dad.
I tell you what, though, this is some fucking team. This what we put together here. So we've got Edison in net, Kyle Walker, Varane, Lisandro, and Shaw at the back. Casemiro, De Bruyne, and Bruno Fernandes in the midfield. And then Mahrez, Haaland, and Rashford up top.
Quadruple winning team, that, innit?
That's not a bad team at all. I do think, just as my shouts, I'd put Bernardo Silva in there, and I'd probably put, I don't know, I'd probably put Foden in there as well. But
you dropped Rashford.
No, I'd play Foden over Bruno. I think Foden's a better player than Bruno, in my personal opinion. But I know it's United fan channel.
Get your blue shirt. Get your blue shirt on then. Put your blue shirt on.
No, but I have to be honest. I'm trying to do this without red tinted. Phil Foden's one of the best talents in the league right now. He is.
No, I don't disagree.
Bruno's very hot and cold. He frustrates the fucking life out of me.
Yeah, but he's ours. He's fucking ours.
He's ours. I know he is. Let's hope Phil Foden doesn't score tomorrow because that's getting clipped up to fucking it. Anyway, let's do predicted 11s for tomorrow's game. Actual 11s. I'll start mine off very quickly and then I'll ask you for yours. So I'm going to go with David De Gea in net, Wan-Bissaka at right back because Dallow's out, Varane and Lisandro. I'm hoping, although I wouldn't be surprised if there was a bit of a thing here because Lisandro wasn't great against Charlton in the last game.
It's with Maguire. It's because he was paired with Maguire. I think when he's got Maguire behind him, he's too worried about covering for Maguire's mistakes, and he's having to think, so he's a little bit shaky. Whereas he's got Varane behind him, you don't have to worry, so he can just concentrate as what he does.
But yeah, them two pre-World Cup were blossoming a fantastic partnership, so hopefully that continues and them two can start together. Haven't heard much about Varane, so I'm just expecting him to start. Luke Shaw back at left back because as good as Malacia is, he got absolutely rinsed in the last game against Mahrez. He terrorised him. And struggled to deal with them overloads. So I'll go with Luke Shaw. Has to be Casemiro in that number 6, undoubtedly. I think his international partner Fred is alongside him because I think, like we said, we touched on that game. City's right hand side with De Bruyne or the other guys as well. We need Fred in there, breaking up play. That's what he's best at. He's actually been doing quite good off the bench as well. In fairness, so. I would put Fred in there, but then this is a difficult decision that you make because I don't know what we're going to do up top. So I would play Eriksen in the 10 Bruno in the 10, and then have Anthony, Martial, and Rashford. But I think with the changes, I think it'll be Casemiro, Fred, Eriksen, Anthony, Rashford, and Bruno. That's what I think is going to happen. Sam?
De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, because obviously Dallow's out. I think it'd be Lissandro and Varane back at it. I think Luke Shaw starts. Like you said, Terrell Malacia had a terrible time last time. Casemiro. I think Scott McTominay starts because he always seems to start against City. We always start him against City, and he always seems to be up for it against City. Again, this is not the team I would pick. This is just what I think he's going to pick. I would put Fred in there, but I think he's going to put McTominay. I think Eriksen plays in the 10. I think Bruno ends up going out on the wing. You got Rashford down the middle, and then on the right hand side you've got Anthony.
I've seen a lot of people putting Fred as a 10, you know. I'm like, I don't want to see that shit again.
He's done it before.
I do not want to see
He's
that
done it
shit
before.
again. Yeah. You remember, was it Sociedad in the Europa League? He was shit.
Because he was doing all of Ronaldo's running for him, wasn't he? He's pressing.
Yeah.
That's why they put him there.
Yeah. He had, I don't know what he had on his boots that day, but he just could not control the ball at all. Proper bouncy flip-flop feet. Dan, who do we think, or who do you think, sorry, is going to start?
I think the back five would be the same as you both have selected. And in the midfield, I think he will pick Casemiro and Fred. And ahead of them on the number 10 will be Bruno. And the attackers would be, I think, on the right side, Anthony with Rashford as striker. And left wing, I still think Garnacho will start.
Garnacho.
Oh,
In
that'd
the
be a big
derby.
call.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very big
Because
call.
we don't have the options. Martial isn't fit and Sancho is not there.
I'm praying Martial is fit. I'm praying. He's touched the goal at the minute, but we need him in there because
He
we've got
scores against City as well, Martial.
And he scored 5 goals against Man City. Martial, don't forget. So he could be an important player in that, and he's important for Rashford as well. He invites a lot of people onto him and leaves space for Rashford on that left hand side. So it's vitally important he's fit for tomorrow.
I'd love to see Garnacho start. I would. I'd absolutely be a massive fan of that. I don't think, with the way he's been drip feeding him into the team and giving him games here and there, I don't see why you would throw him in a derby. Like
I'd rather have him as an impact off the bench, personally.
Yeah, last 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just tear up.
He could have a big,
tear him up. That'd be good.
Yeah. What about score predictions? This is the big one.
2-1, Man United.
Oh. Mystic Dan.
2-2. A draw.
2-2. I think that's fair. Yeah, I think that's fair, to be fair. But I am going to be positive. I've been speaking about positivity since the start of the show. I'm going to stick with it. And I'm going to go 2-1, Rashford and Fred scoring. That's what I think.
I'll do Rashford and Garnacho off the bench.
Okay. Dan? Goal scorers?
I think Bruno and Anthony.
What about for City?
HAALAND. Has to be.
HAALAND?
Has to be.
I've already said that HAALAND will not score. I'd go with Mahrez and Foden.
Yeah, I think Mahrez is going to have a good game tomorrow. I think he's got so many danger, man. It's fucking, yeah. Oh, I'm excited. I'm nervous and excited at the same time. Got a weird kind of cocktail of energy at the minute. But, yeah, it's going to be a strange game tomorrow. That concludes the preview for today, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe to our channel and smash a like on the video for the Manchester Derby. Let us know your score predictions as well for this massive game. Super interested to see who you would go for. Also, if you want regular updates and clips from our channel, be sure to check us out on social media. All of our handles are at the bottom of the graphic, or just head to the link in the video description. As stated before, me and Shreyas will be live an hour before kickoff tomorrow, which is about 11:30 on YouTube. And we'll be on TikTok pre-match and half-time. So make sure you join us for that. It's gonna be absolutely flying off the handle. Sam, thank you for coming on. Do you have any final words?
No worries. Yeah, Adam is going to the derby tomorrow. He will be there in person. Lucky bastard. So yeah, if we do get some victory goals and some celebrations, we will be putting that footage up on our YouTube and our social media. So look out for that. Enjoy that if you can't watch the game or for whatever reason, or you can't get to the game. So yeah, enjoy that. And yeah, a couple of comments. Lewis has just dropped in the chat, so I'm just going to read a couple of these out. Big win tomorrow. I agree with Nick. Bruno's good, but not quite. Carlin? I don't know what that means.
You know what? You don't know what that means?
Carlin?
You not seen that ad? You not seen the advert? Yeah, it's good, but it's not quite Carl. Oh, it's Carlsberg, isn't it?
It's Carlsberg, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good, but it's not quite. I think
All
that's
right,
what
fair
you
enough.
meant.
Start Ericsson over Bruno. Lewis Jackson has gone 2-2, but he said big win. So, all right. He's gone from one dictionary to the other. And he says, Haaland will not score tomorrow. Couldn't register a shot on target against Southampton.
Yeah, to be fair, he's only on for 20 minutes, though, wasn't
Yeah, big words. So, yeah, interesting. But, yeah, check out all the socials like Nick mentioned. Really working hard on to push it to 1,000. And we're trying to push the YouTube channel to 1,000 subscribers. So, yeah, help us out. Subscribe, like, follow, all that good stuff.
Yes, sir. Dan, any final words for the Manchester derby tomorrow?
I hope tomorrow United Place shows them how to play football.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got one final message for you guys. Do any of you guys remember what Ten Hag said when he walked through the door at Old Trafford about Liverpool and City? You remember?
All eras come to an end.
Correct.
Also,
winning a game.
Also, Casemiro said when we lost against Brentford, don't worry, I'll come fix this. That's what he's going to do. He's going to fix it.
Exactly. Yep, just like Jim.
Don't.
I had a really.
It went
really
so
good
well. It went so well. We're getting demonetized.
You don't know who Jim is. It's all right. Oh, I'm gutted as well because I had a really good message then to finish off with. I'm gonna try to do it, but
you did an add-in, didn't you? You ruined the show.
Yeah, I did a bit of an add-in, but the joke was there to be hit, and I thought I could go for it. But yeah, look, winning a game of this magnitude not only puts us 1 point behind Manchester City, by the way, which considering we finished 42 points behind them last season, so that in itself is an achievement.
Yep.
We set a precedent for the rest of the league that we are back. And it's time for people to start fearing us again. And we can start this message off. I've got a little thing for you here. By ripping this team apart. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Manchester derby tomorrow, 12:30. Make sure you tune in for the watch along from 11:30. Pep is getting put in the fucking mud. Let's go. See you later, guys. Take care of yourselves. Subscribe to the channel.
This is getting clipped up badly, isn't it? Fucking hell. Peace, everybody.